I'm Greg, welcome to Aphek Studio. I'm here to compare the Ibanez Super 4 pickups found in the original Musician and Roadser basses to my hum cancelling version. Actually, that should be reversed. To hear how my hum cancelling version compares to the stock pickups. The originals are the benchmark for me. Super 4 pickups sound great and don't sound quite the same as anything else. Like all single coils, you get mains hum when too close to things like transformers and fluorescent lights. Nobody wants to hum, but we don't want to sacrifice a unique tone either. I've sold a few sets of these to players who told me they're very happy, but were understandably nervous about any change in tone before buying them. Hum cancelling pickups don't usually sound the same as the single coils they're trying to replace, so I'd be nervous too. I've made some more that will be available to purchase and want to reassure you that they do sound the same, hence this comparison. This is my April 1980 model Musician. I've had my version of the pickups in this for all the Musician videos, so if you've watched them you've already heard the pickups. You haven't heard a comparison with the stock pickups though. The neck pickups in the Musicians built in '79 and the first half of 1980 are further from the bridge. They added an extra 2 frets in the '79 too, making it quite hard to slap on these. It is a great tone though. These pickups came about after buying my 30th anniversary version, which was supposed to have Super 4 pickups. They don't have Super 4s, and the pickup cavities are slightly smaller, so an original set of pickups wouldn't fit. The fact they'd used wooden covers made me realise I could probably make some covers to build new pickups. I initially made them reverse polarity, reverse wind, so they were hum cancelling in the middle position, like a jazz bass. This worked well and sounded great, but didn't get rid of the noise when either pickup was on by itself, of course, and I was playing a lot in a hall that was electronically very noisy and having to stick to the middle position to cut out the hum. I built new pickups for my Dingwall Z3, which also has non-standard pickup sizes. They use end-to-end coils, making them hum cancelling single coils, which made me realise I could probably do something similar with these. The reason these sound the same as the originals is that the hum cancelling comes from having 2 coils butted together end to end, so it still behaves like a single coil. With a traditional humbucker, the string has always been picked up by 2 coils that are side by side, with 2 sets of pole pieces, therefore changing the whole magnetic field. With a stacked single coil, it keeps a narrow magnetic field, but you still have 2 pairs of coils picking up the sound. So with these, the string is only ever being picked up by a single coil. The final piece of the puzzle, enabling me to make more of these, was discovering a mate had started a 3D printing business and could make me the covers fairly cheaply. The wooden covers were way too hard to get right with my limited woodworking skills and would have added way too much time to what's already needed to make these. Up close, the 3D covers aren't perfect, but you don't notice when they're in the base. I use shielding paint inside the covers to help minimise RF noise. On my basses, I also add copper tape to the pickup cavities to extend the shielding from the aluminium plates that the pickups screw into, further reducing any RF interference. I only make a few sets at a time, and when they sell, make some more. They're currently available on Reverb, and once I get my website rebuilt, should be on there too. So enjoy your new Quality Musician bass if you have some Super 4 pickups, and buy some of these. And as always, thanks for watching. Please like and subscribe. Hit the drop down menu so you got the notification button, and also leave a comment. And I'll see you soon.